Okay. Good morning, Rabbi Sai. How's everybody doing? Today is 43 days in the Omer. Today's shir, I hope I got this right. It's kind of late on the sponsorships. One sponsor, Yosef, one sponsor? Where are you? Whatever. Sponsorship for Yom Yerushalayim in honor of all the miracles we received from Hashem. It's kind of, I just copied and pasted, so it came out a little interesting. Giving us back our Yerushalayim HaKodesh. May we be the generation blessed very soon to rebuild the Beis HaMikdash. Amen. Phil Rosenblatt, Yishkoyach Phil. Where's our good friends from Shmuley Weisfish is here. He's ready. He's ready for the email. So last time he sent a beautiful email, and I think we're able to salvage the whole shir besides his email. So, here's a consolation email. Dear Eli Stefansky, I saw on Daf 76 you said, so who's Shmuley Weisfish? Just in case you don't know, he's a kid that really likes to watch the shir, but his father only allows him to watch on Fridays, I guess because he gets to sleep on Shabbos. He has to wake up really early because he's in Manchester before 5 o'clock to watch the shir. He watches it with his father, a very, very big Talmud Chacham, Rabbi Weisfish from Manchester. So, and this Shmuley is before Bar Mitzvah. He's a very smart kid. And he says like this, I saw on Daf 76 you said you weren't sure about the difference between Kash and Gvava. So I've learned the Mishnah Shabbos, and I want to tell the Maggid Shir my Rebbe's opinion. The yellow is sheep food, the red is human food, and the blue is cow food. So he took our picture from the shir, and he drew his own little thing on it, yellow, red, blue. Okay, so now we have it clear from his Rebbe. P.S. My brother got a turn on my father's phone, and out of all the stories he could have listened to, he chose Eli Stefansky's Daf Yomi shir. Because after all, you are my family's hero. Everyone in my family knows you. Thank you. Thank you for your shir. PPS, please read on Friday. From Shmuley Weisfish. Shmuley, we read it. Gewaldige email, Yishkoyach Shmuley. I have a tremendous, yesterday the video of Mesechtes Brachas Siyum came out. I don't know, it's supposed to be uploaded today. A beautiful Siyum, and when the little Avi Factor's kid, the 8-year-old, got up to speak, and Akiva Solway, I don't know, just another soft spot for these children that are learning Torah. It's unbelievable. These kids are going to know Shas. They're going to finish Shas before the Bar Mitzvah. It's amazing. Hi, Rebelli. My name is Mordechai Adler. I'm Tzviki Shor's uncle. His mother, Alea Shalom, is my sister, and I heard about your wonderful shir from him. Actually, it's funny because I think we are related. I'm a son-in-law to somebody called Eli Stefansky from Stalin, Ireland. Now, there's Eli Stefansky that became a Kaliner. And people used to ask me, are you Eli Stefansky? I said, no. I said, that guy went off the derech. You know, the Stefanskys, Lutheran family, and he became a Karliner. But I got my revenge. I once was trying to fly from Israel to America, and they said, you're Eli Stefansky, get over here. You're not flying anywhere. You have to go to the army. Like, army? I'm American. No. Turns out it's that Eli Stefansky, the Karliner, and because, I used to make fun of him, so he got my revenge. I never really met the guy, but I'll call upon him, that's him, fine. So he resides in Eretz Yisrael, Givat Zev, right next door to the Stalin Rebbe. Anyway, your shiurim are amazing. It brings down the lofty concepts of Talmud right into the understandable daily life concepts. A pleasure listening and understanding. Much hatzlacha, Mordechai Adler. Very interesting. I don't know if they're related. He says he's Mordechai. He's Tzviki Shor's uncle, and over here I have from Tzvi Shir. Probably no relation. Dear Rebelli, I've been a Daf Yomi person for many years, 3.5 cycles. That's a lot of years. I don't know, it's like 25 years, right? I am one of the learned during Chazor Hashatz people. Once Corona started, that was done. Yeah, there's no Chazor Hashatz anymore. I was introduced to Yeshir by Fischl Gross, my boss. Since you see, Rabbi Isai, Fischl Gross is running around getting people to join the daf. How about you guys? Anybody tell your friends to join the daf? We have to get other people to join the daf. I know you want to, but then by the time the shir is over, you forget. Please get people to join, even if it's not our daf, some other guy's daf. Somebody, tell them about it. Since Corona started, I've been tuning into your shir, either live on Zoom or the next day on YouTube. The charts and pictures you use make the concept so much clearer. Looking forward to someday being able to come to your base medrash to hear the shir live. I hope official Gross pays for your ticket and brings you in. Avada, that's the way it should be, official. Tzvi Shir, one of your Baltimore Hasidim. So we lost the Baltimore Chassid, Nachum Harvitz. Nah, I'm just kidding. I haven't seen the guy in ages. Where's Nachum? Anybody seen Nachum? Tzvi Shir. All right, fine. Great. We have a beautiful daf ahead of us with some Agadata. Great stuff today. Mamish. We're holding daf Ein Zayin Amud Aleph on the top. If we want, we can just go back 5 lines real quickly just to recap a little bit of what we learned. Tana, by the Gemara. Tana, 5 lines from the bottom of Vayim Vav Amud Beis. Kidei Mezigas Kais Yafa. How much wine? We learned all the liquids in order to be over on Haitzah and Shabbos, they need to be revius. Wine, the Mishnah says, Kidei Mezigas Kais. Enough wine that you dilute the wine and you have a cup. Are we live? What's going on? It looks like everybody's like standstill. Are we there? Okay, good. Umay calls yourself. By the way, I can't wait. We're going Sunday into Bismarck. It's like I'm talking to myself. I don't know if you guys are alive, dead. Some pictures I see Avi Mandelbaum, a picture of a guy behind him. It looks like that's. I see him more clearly. I guess that's that comedian. I don't want to mention his name, Jerry. More clear than Avi himself. And there's just people just like. I don't know if they're just putting up these fake things like those girls put up connecting, reconnecting, and whatever. Fine. We'll be live, we'll have people screaming, we'll be gevaldik, singing, dancing. Enough wine, you don't need a revius, enough wine to do kais yafa. My kais yafa, kaishal bracha, the beautiful cup that we do for benching. Omar Rav Nachman, Omar Rabbi Baravua, kaishal bracha tzorch sheyeh bo roiva revius. You need to have a quarter of a revius, not a whole revius like everything else, a quarter of a revius. Kedei you're going to add all the water, the 3/4 water, 1/4 wine, and you're going to have a full cup. I can prove it from the Mishnah. If somebody takes out undiluted wine, how much is it? Enough that you could dilute it and make a whole cup. As we explained yesterday, there's 10 things that go together with the kaishal bracha of benching, itur, ituf, hadacha, shtifa, all these things, right? Tefach, the whole thing. So now, let's just go, Rava works backwards. If you have to dilute wine, 3 parts water, 1 part wine, and everything in the Mishnah is a revius. So in order to get to that revius, I need 1/4 of a revius. Because 1/4 revius is 1 part wine. I add the 3 parts water. Even though I didn't add those 3 parts water, I'm going to come up eventually with this cup that's a revius, and that's enough to be over on Haitzah. Every undiluted wine, you take 1 part water. Lav chamru, 1 part wine, 3 parts water. If you don't have that, it's not considered wine. Amar Abaye, shtei tshuvas b'davar. I have 2 bomb questions on what you're telling me. It's a Mishnah in Nida. How much water do you add to yain hashiroini? 2 parts water. So why are you Rava telling me 3 parts water? It says shnei chalki mayim. Va'oid mayim bakad u'mitztarfin. What's going on here? You have like this petal. You know, in Israel they sell this concentrate stuff. So I have a little bit of concentrate wine, and because I have water in the sink in my kat, so that's why I'm chayiv now. If I take out a little bit of wine, what's going on here? I need a full cup of wine. I need a revius. Not 1/4 of a revius. Now, Rashi points out, Rabbi agrees that it's 1 part wine, 3 parts water. He's saying, but it's not because you're adding the water, like Rashi said, like Rava says, I'm going to be able to add water. That is the shear. The shear is 1/4 of a revius. That's the shear. Don't ask me any questions from a type of wine called shiroini. Shiroini is so weak that all you need to do to add to it to make it tasteful is 2 parts water. But every other strong wine, Cabernet, whatever it is, Petit Verdot, whatever they got me over there, is 3, well, not in nowadays, 3 parts water, 1 part wine. Void. Oh, sorry. Inami hasam shum chazusa. We're talking about Masechtas Nida. We're talking about the shades of red. You want to get to this particular shade of red that's tamei. Take yain hashiroini, add 2 parts water, you'll get to the perfect red. We're not talking about taste. Yes, like every other wine, maybe shiroini needs 3 parts water, 1 part wine. We're talking about color versus taste. And you asked me a question. Great, this is a great question. Why is it that you're chayiv on itzah with 1/4 of a revius when everything else, apple juice needs a full revius, and wine all of a sudden is 1/4 revius? Well, because Hashem asked, because later on you're going to add water to it and you're going to dilute it, so that's why right now I'm chayiv if I take out a revius. Says the Gemara, yes. Le'inyan Shabbos midid the chashiv be'inon. V'nami a chashiv. Yeah. Shabbos is about chashivos. It's about taking something out that's worthwhile. We had it yesterday. That's the whole thing. Is it worth for me? Is it worth for you? Is it worth for the whole world? Do people keep it? Do they not keep it? Yes. 1/4 cup, 1/4 revius of wine is worth a lot more than a full cup of diluted apple juice that they sell in the store. Yeah? If a bottle of wine costs $50 and a bottle of apple juice costs $2, then yeah, that 1/4 revius is a lot more chashiv than a revius of any other mashka. Not because I'm going to add water to it. No, right now it is more chashiv, has more chashivas. Tana yovish b'chazayis divrei Reb Nosson. So Reb Nosson says a major yisoid. What happens if wine congeals? So in order to get to a kazayis, because we're talking about a salad now. We're talking about a solid piece of glob of wine that used to be liquid, now it's heavy, a nice round thing I could throw it at somebody. Congealed wine. How much congealed wine? Well, perhaps if the shear of wine is 1/4 of a revius, so I just wait for that 1/4 revius to congeal, and then I take it outside. And I'm over. No, says Reb Nosson, that I need a full revius. I need 4 times the amount of wine in order to congeal and get to the shear of a kazayis. And then if I take out that kazayis, I'm over. Not 1/4 of a revius, but the whole revius. Rav Yosef, Reb Nosson, Reb Yosef, Reb Yehuda, Amru Davar Echad, says Rav Yosef, by the way, this idea that I could take a liquid and solidify it and be over with the salad and a revius equals a kazayis, I have somewhere else in Shas. The Sanya Rabbi Yehuda Oimer, Shisha Dvar Mekuli Beisham Mechur Beisil. Rashi points out that there are a lot more than 6 things that Beishami are more mekel than Beisil in Shas. But Rabbi Yehuda, who was in Keren B'Yavna, while they were writing Masechtas Idiyos, the testimonies that each Tanakh got up and said, and I heard this, and that became a solid Mishnah in Idiyos. So Rabbi Yehuda said 6. Others said other ones. One of the things Rabbi Yehuda said was, Dam nevela b'shamim mitarim. A nevela, we know a dead animal is tamei. What about its blood? Say b'shamim, its blood is completely tar. Says Rashi, not really. He didn't really mean tar. He just meant it doesn't have the halacha of a nevela. It has a lesser tumah called a rishon l'tumah. Here's the point we're trying to get to. Ubesilel Ubesilel mitamim. Beisil say that blood is tummy like a nevela, has the strong tum of a nevela. Omer Beis Rabbi Yehuda, av kishetimu beisil leitimu lebedam sheish berevius. Come along and say no. It's not just blood, any blood. It has to be a full revius. Why? Since if you have a whole revius of dam, that equals a kazayis of like a nevela. Because a nevela, what's the shear of a nevela? How much nevela is metama? A kazayis. So in order for me to get dam, blood, that's tameh, I need a liquid measurement of a revius, which, if it congealed, will turn into a kazayis. Isn't that, says Rav Yosef, the same exact halacha that we just learned? We just learned that in order to get to kazayis congealed, to revius congealed wine, you need a kazayis. Says Abaya, yes, they're similar, but they're not the same. Why? Because we're going in different directions. First of all, Shabbos, the shear of Shabbos is a revius. Going outside, you need a revius. The shear of an avela is a kazayis. In Shabbos, we started with a kazayis that's congealed, and we're trying to go work backwards and see how much did it take to become that congealed, and we said it's a revius. In avela, it's the opposite. We're dealing with a liquid here called blood. How much would it take of this blood to become a kazayis? But that's not really the big difference. Says Abaye, maybe they're not similar at all. Maybe by wine you need a revius, because we're dealing with wine. The kolish, it's very thin. But perhaps when it comes to a larger, to something heavier, thicker, like blood, kazayis liboy revius. Rashi explains, maybe it doesn't lose that much of its mass. Maybe because it's so thick, it congeals almost as is, let's say. Whereas wine, in order for a liquid to solidify, it needs a lot more. So what's the Gemara asking? Basically, who told you, just because by wine a revius turns into a kazayis, perhaps by something thicker, less than a revius turns into a kazayis, and therefore, less than a revius is mitama. Maybe a half a revius of blood is already tame, because maybe a half a revius turns into kazayis. Who told you that blood and wine are equal? They're not equal. Inami, or let's take it from another angle. Over there in our sugya, over there by kazayis of nevela, it's another revius. Because it's thick. Aval yain the kolish, but wine that's thin, kazayis have yoiser revius. V'chimapik pachas mikazayis l'chayev. So, in order to get to a full kazayis, if you're going to compare it to blood, in order to get to a full kazayis by wine, you're going to need a lot more wine than a revius. Maybe you need, let's say, 2 revius of wine. And memela, if I have in my hand a half a kazayis of congealed wine, maybe that's already a full revius of wine. Who told you if you're going to compare it to blood, maybe in order to get the full kazayis of wine congealed, I need 2 reviusim. In other words, a half a kazayis is a full revius, and that's also to take out in the Rishus HaRabim. Why are you comparing blood to wine? Next sugya. Now we're going into Agadta. We learned in the Mishnah that milk, the shear of taking out milk in the Rishus HaRabim is kedei gmiya, like a gulp, to swallow, enough to swallow. Ibaylu, kedei gmiya or kedei gmiya. So the Gemara is going to ask the same exact question on 4 different words. 3 of these words appear in Masechta Shabbos in Mishnayos. Is it written with an aleph or with an ayin? L'may nafkamina, just how do you write it? It's the same word. It means to swallow. She said, give me a little bit of water to swallow from your kad. So you see it's with the aleph. But the rest of them are all with the ayin. Boilu, turn the page. Ayin zayin base. Garinin, where do we have this word garinim? Pits. Is it with the aleph or with the ayin? We just had it yesterday. In the Mishnah on Ayin Vavam Beis, it says that a pit and the peel are not part of the measurement. So how do you spell it? Do you spell with the aleph or with the ayin? I think Israelis know that you spell with the ayin. That's how it's spelled in our Mishnah. Marava, Ba'ula, Vinigra Merkach, a very interesting raya, because it says in the Torah of v'nigra mekecha, that you prorate the house, you prorate the property based on the years before Yovel. So proration means that you're taking off. V'nigra, you take off me'erkecha. So nigra is to take off. A garin, as it says in the Mishnah, takes off from the fruit. It's not part of the fruit. Talking about coals, a glowing coal is with the aleph or with the ayin. I heard from Sruli Bornstein that the Maritz Chiyus says that from here you have a raya, from this sug you have a raya that even Amoraim didn't have the Mishnais written down. Yes, there's a whole Shaila who wrote the Mishnais. Not a Shaila. The Rambam says Rebbe wrote the Mishnah. Everybody agrees he was Misader the Mishnah, but did he put it in writing or not? He was Misader, maybe it doesn't mean writing. Back and forth. How come you don't open up a Mishnah and look inside? It says Oimemois with the ayin, Garin with the ayin. Maybe that's what he tied is. Now maybe they didn't have the Mishnayos yet. They knew about it. They could have. They should have. Whatever. Zog the Gemara Boilu. Ma'amtzin tnan oy me'amtzin. Again, it says in the Mishnah, I actually had the unfortunate schus to close my mother's eyes after she was nifter. You're not allowed to do it on Shabbos because a nifter is muktzah. So that's a discussion later on in the Masechta. So is it with the aleph or with the ayin? Or Reb Chia bar Abba Omer Reb Yochanan va'oitzim einov me'ois bira. So oitzim, he closes his eyes from seeing bad. Oitzim is with the ayin. If it's animal milk from a cow, it's the amount that it takes to swallow. But a human milk, and the white of an egg, it's the amount, because they had like this paste that they used to put in their eyes, a medicine, and they would use different liquids. One of them was milk. So enough milk, which is a very small amount of milk to mix into the paste, that's the amount that you're chayiv on Shabbos. Again, chashivos. This is important. Important. How much is important? Enough to take to make a medicine. Kilar, kidei lo b'mayim, and the actual paste. How much are you chayiv taking out the paste? Enough that if you mix a little water in it, you're going to have paste. That's awesome. Bar Vashi, kidei shifa, or kidei achiza v'shifa. It's one of these questions. Does the Gemara mean enough to putting in both of your eyes? Rashi points out it's not just one eye, both eyes. Is it enough? But typically when you put it on your eye, you have some left stuck to your finger. So is it your two eyes plus a little bit on your finger, or two eyes? Nafkamina, chayiv or not chayiv? Could we put a guy to death for the amount that just went in his eye minus his finger? Or we need to make sure he has some on his finger after the Edom came and gave him Asra and said, don't take that out, and he took it out, and he didn't have anything left on his finger. What does Bezdin do? Take it. Dvash kidei litin ala kosis. How much honey? Enough to put on a wound. Tana kidei litin al pi kosis, on the head of the wound. Bayrashi al kosis apum the kula kosis. Now we're starting to split hairs here. Does he mean on the entire wound? Oy dilma amursha kamadach kosis. Maybe the tip of the wound. Has some sort of wound that goes upwards. On the tip, the whole thing. I got to know. Listen, this is very important. Are we going to kill this person based on this or not? La puki who drawn of the lie. Maybe the whole part of the wound, not just the top part, the open part, the tip. Teiku. Listen to this line. Kol masha bara HaKadosh Baruch Hu b'olamai. Everything HaKadosh Baruch Hu created in this world, lo bara dover echad levatala. There's not a single creation in this world that's in vain. Everything we know, the famous David HaMelech saw the spider saved him. He didn't know why Kadosh Baruch Hu made a spider. A spider saved him. When Shaul ran after him, the spider made a web, and Shaul thought nobody's behind it. Great. The Gemara has other things. Everything in this world, those annoying flies that come to your dining room, they have a purpose. Bara shablu likosus. Slugs, I have plenty of them here in Eretz Yisrael on my porch at night. By the way, if you pour a little salt on them, they disappear. I don't know if it's Sarva L'chaim, they don't even move, they just disappear. They disintegrate. In case you have that issue. Why did Kadosh Baruch Hu make a slug. Very interesting creature. It goes really slow. It leaves a trail behind it, then follows its trail back. But why? If a person has a wound, you can take that slug, smear it into the wound. Not recommended. It's kind of gross. Bara zvuv, this is important. A fly, litzira. This could really hurt a lot. You have a hornet's sting, and you take a fly, some sort of fly, you put it in there. Yatush. Why do you create a mosquito? L'nachash. There was a bacher, I just realized now. There was a bacher last week. He was on a tiyul here in Israel. He got bit by a snake. He was in critical condition or something. You can take a mosquito and put it on the bite. V'nachish, and what do you do with the snake itself? L'chafafis, for boils. V'samamis, spiders that many people are really scared of, they're good for an akrov. I was once giving a shir in brachas about an akrov. Tzvi Arya Adler, I asked him if he could please, because I like the hands-on, he brought me a scorpion to shir. And I brought it home because I give the shir at night. And by the time I got to the night shir, I couldn't find the scorpion. Scorpion gone. So I have a scorpion running around my house somewhere. Or maybe the cleaning lady might have thrown it out. We don't know. She said not, but I could never find the scorpion. I couldn't pay him back. I felt really bad. But then he showed me a video of him going with his kids, and they lifted up a rock, and there's 5 scorpions underneath it. So, B'kitzur, HaKadosh Baruch Hu paid him back. He had as many scorpions as he wants. Zog the Gemara. And, by the way, Stam Derech Agav, we're talking about scorpions. He told me that his son took the scorpion and hasn't fed him since Rosh Hashanah. Because he heard that a scorpion could go without food, so he did some, so maybe I saved the scorpion's life. I don't know. But the scorpion was not moving that much. He was like very, very shvach, because he hasn't eaten in 3 months, whatever it was, in brachas, from Rosh Hashanah to brachas somewhere. I don't know how many months that was. Anyway, interesting, because we're talking now about the Pilla Habriya. Scorpion can go for months without eating. Heichi Avidlei, how do you use the snake to heal your wound? Maisi chada ukma v'chada chivara. You take a black one and a white one, v'shalkiluhu, and you cook it up, v'shayfilei, and you put it on your wound. Tanu Rabbanon, chamisha emoisheim. There are 5 fears, let's call them irrational fears in this world. Emas cholosh al gibar. The fear of a mighty one from a weak one. Says the Gemara, Emas mavgia alari. There's a creature called a mavgia, says Rashi. It's a creature that screams really loudly and it scares the lion. Yesh oimrim, like me and Mendy. So Mendy Auerbach and I want to taina that this mavgia, and this seems to be some sort of raya from the Ben Yoyada that we're onto something. There's an animal called, look it up, it's called a honey badger. It's a tiny little creature, and this guy has zero fear of a lion, zero fear of anything, that is, of any. And there's videos, you can go on YouTube, the lion bites him, it doesn't hurt him. He has very thick skin, and he's able to maneuver away from his skin. So the lion tries to catch him, and then he turns around and whips the lion in the eye, and bites his tongue. B'kitzur, he's a terrible animal. This little guy, you see over here, there's a real picture. 4 lions don't know what to do with him. They don't know if they should pick him up. He might. So there is such a thing. B'kitzur, there's a fear of the little guy. The little honey badger could. So stam as a dugma. I don't know if that's it exactly, but there is such a thing in the bria. Emas yatusha lapil. This is very interesting. The mosquito could go into the elephant's ear, nose. It's fearful of it. I looked it up on Google. So it doesn't say anything about a mosquito, but it says, listen, it has an irrational fear of bees. Bees. So scientists today are aware of the bees. The Gemara is aware of a mosquito. The same idea. Even though it's irrational, because a bee cannot sting an elephant. You can't sting an elephant. You can't put a bullet through an elephant. So certainly a mosquito cannot get, even if the mosquito's sting was 4 inches long, it wouldn't be able to sting the elephant. It wouldn't hurt the elephant, the bee. So it's an irrational fear. Everybody agrees that that's irrational. Emas simomis ala akrov. And the spider, so if you notice that some of the things that we mentioned before, that these spiders could be used for medicine, but they're also used to scare. So the scorpion is scared of the spider. Emas snunis ala nesher, a swallow bird could scare away an eagle, which is 100 times larger than him. Emas kilbis ala v'yasan. And the kilbis, whatever kilbis is, the Levyasan, the famous giant Levyasan that we're going to eat in the Suda of Mashiach. When Mashiach comes, Levyasan, the kilbis, a tiny little fish, could go into its ear and destroy it. It's very fearful of it. So we're learning about the fear that a very large animal, such as the elephant, has of a small mosquito. The Mashal explains that it's to show that even if you think you're all that, you're great, you're big, you're strong, Hakadosh Baruch Hu takes that little mosquito and he could destroy you. He gives you a fear of it. So I ask you, and what about us humans? What are we scared of? We're scared of a microscopic virus called COVID-19. That's what we're scared of. It's smaller than a mosquito. But I want a taina that we are scared of something even smaller than a microscopic virus. We're scared, what is it, new? We're scared sometimes of nothing. We create a fear in ourselves that limits us. You ask a guy, I'm actually looking at a guy, I asked him once, a year and a half ago, I asked somebody, he knows what I'm talking about in a second, why are you not, why don't you do the daf with us? So he tells me, because I have to help my wife. But his wife was standing right there, and his wife says, no, you could go do the daf. You go do it. And he really hasn't missed a day in a year and a half since that conversation. Sometimes we have a fear, that's an excuse, a fear that limits us when it comes to Torah, and limits us when it comes even to business and other things. And I want to tell you a Gewaldika Maisa that I usually don't like talking about because I'm a big anav, of course. But if this Maisa would help even one person, then it was all Kedai. In 2005, I was only 32 years old, and I was a caterer. And I was walking around in a wedding, mingling with the guests. And one of the guests comes over to me, his name is Mark Summer, and he says, Eli, I hear you're dabbling in real estate. I have a great deal for you. I have a project of 2,000 apartments in Indianapolis, and it's only $65 million. What do you taina? I said, I taina that you're high on something. That's what I taina. It's like, I just got out of koilel, and I don't have 2 nickels, and you're telling me $65 million. I love you very much. Have a wonderful evening. I got to serve some chicken here. And that was the end of that conversation. And that night, about 1:30 in the morning, I went home, and I'm laying in bed, and I'm rehashing this conversation. And first I started giggling to myself. And then I said, wait a minute, Eli, he said 2,000 apartments, but what about 100 apartments? If he would have said 100, could you do 100? I said, yeah, 100 I probably could do. I could go schnorr money from this one and that one, and I could put it together. So if you could do 100, so maybe you could do 200. Yeah, 200 also. And this is a conversation going on in my head. And then finally I said, so why can't I do 2,000? What's stopping me from doing 2,000? I don't understand. If I could do 100, I could do 2,000. So I'll go to more people. I'll knock on more doors. The following morning, I woke up. I said, I could do this. And that's what I did. I broke down this project into different parts, 100 apartments, and I started selling 100 apartments to different people. I had zero experience. I didn't know what I was doing. And the rest is history. I bought this property as a caterer, as a guy. And the site is, if I wouldn't have done that deal, what would have stopped me? Just something in my head. Just a fear in my head that said, you can't do it. It's not for you. No, it's not for you. Who said? Me. I made it up. It doesn't exist. I made it up. So I tell people sometimes, so I'm not telling people to go out there and buy 2,000 apartments without experience. That's not responsible. I'm saying sometimes people are scared to take a new job, to buy a new house, to take on a mortgage. It's a fear. Sometimes it's a good fear. There's merit to it. Sometimes it's just a fear. In Hebrew they call it shedonim. It's a little guy talking to you and telling you, don't do that. And also when it comes to ruchnias, take on a new chavrusa. No, but if I take on a new chavrusa, that guy's going to make fun of me. Or this thing is going to this. And I can't do it. You could do it. Who says you can't do it? You can't take on another half hour of learning. Who said? Anyways, Ad Kan. Zog the Gemara. Omar Rabbi Yehuda Omar Rav Mikra. Where do we see this in the pasuk? Hamavlig shoyd al oz. Yes.
That was beautiful.
Thank you, Shkoyach. Thank you. Compliment during shir, first time ever. But oh no, what's that? The boss. Who is that, Avi?
So first of all, let me assert my firm belief that the only thing we have to fear is fear itself. Nameless, unreasoning, unjustified terror.
Okay, Avi, I got it. The only thing we have to fear is fear itself. Be'ez Hashem, when we move into the Beis Medrash, we won't have these kind of... But listen, we're on Zoom, and so things happen. People put on funny things, and some people appreciate it, some people get upset. I'm going to get a couple of emails. It's all, you know what? But on Sunday, it's going to end. Be'ez Hashem is going to end. Avi Mandelbaum loved it. He put a thumbs up. Givaldik. The only thing we have to fear is fear itself, which is smaller than a virus. Rebbe Zera. Rebbe Zera Ashkach Rebbe Yehuda. I said the pasuk. Mavlik shoyd al oz.
That was my form of giving the Noam compliment.
Shkoyach, I appreciate it. But some compliments, nobody sends me emails afterwards, and some compliments I get emails afterwards. Rebbe Zera Ashkach Rebbe Yehuda daveko koya pischo de bechamua. Rebbe Zera found Rabbi Yehuda in a great mood. He was laughing. He was in a good mood. He could ask him anything in this world, the mundane, seemingly mundane things. This gives us an insight, like you're going back to Rabbi Victor Miller, how Amoraim, Tanoim, looked at the world. They weren't like, oh, my head is in the Gemara and that's it. They looked around them and they said, what is going on here? Why did HaKadosh Baruch Hu create it like this? Why did he make it like that? And these things bothered him. He had a list of things. You look in the Marsha, he talks about it. I couldn't find any. There's massive pieces over there. But I'm sure there's other Sfarim, the Maral, the Ben Yoda that I didn't have a chance to look in. There's a lot of secrets here. There's a lot of deeper meaning. And this is the Pashut Pshat that we're going to learn. He says, why is it that the goats always go in front of the sheep? That's the way HaKadosh Baruch Hu created the world. First there's darkness, then there's light. Why do sheep have longer tails that cover their rear and goats not? These sheep that we create clothes from the wool, it's to cover us, and therefore they're covered. We don't use goats. This is what bothered Rebbe Zera. Why is a camel's tail short? I need to understand this. Says Rabbi Yehuda Mishum da'achel kesi, because they eat thorns. And therefore, their tail could get stuck in the thorns. If you ever went to a barn, you always see that the horses, the cows, they have these long tails. They're constantly wagging them. Why? Because they live in the swamps. And they need to swat away the flies. I really need to understand this. Rabbi, I know I'm busy in the sugya of Psikreisha D'Leinicha, but I need to understand why the antenna of a grasshopper is soft. Because they live in other words, Rabbi said, we need to understand the ways of Hashem. Everything has a reason. Every antenna on every ant and creature has a reason. I need to know what it is. I understand most of it. I have a list of 15 weird things that I don't understand. I need you to tell me. because they live by the willows. Vikashio nadio misavro. If it's too hard, he'll bump into a tree, or break off, and he'll become blinded. It needs to be flexible. Domar Shmuel, and in fact, Shmuel says, if somebody has beef with an ant or with a grasshopper, like those kids in Cheder, unfortunately, they'll take out a little wing of a fly. Obviously, they had a beef with the fly bothered them. So what do you do if you want to take revenge on a grasshopper? Very important, you pull out its antenna. And then he can no longer see where he's going. I looked it up. Scientists understand that ants, at least, they don't see from their antenna, but they can never get back to their hive, or whatever it's called. They don't know how to get back home. They're not being recognized anymore. They're done. They're like blind people. They're done. My time, high timro the tarnagota midlate layla. And why does the eyelid of a chicken go upwards and not downwards like everything else in this world? The diarrhea adape, because they live up above the ayel kitra. And if there'll be smoke from below, misavro. So some people learn, Rashi seems like it just goes from down to up. Some people learn it actually goes a little bit above the upper eyelid, and therefore the smoke can't get in. Dash up. This, I have no idea, but he wanted to know what is the shirish, the source of different words in Aramaic. Dasha, derech sham. Dasha means a door. Derech sham, through there. Darga, a step. Derech gag, you go up to the roof. Maskulisa, which is dipping sauce. Yeah, geschmacka schnitzel with dipping sauce. Why is it called? I need to know. He asked Rabbi Yehuda. Instead of asking him all these kashas on Shas, he says, but why is it called dipping sauce? I need to know why it's called dipping sauce. No, it's a great opportunity. He's all excited. Rabbi Yehuda is laughing in his great mood. Ask him everything you want. He pulls out his whole list. Why is it called dipping sauce? He tells him very partial. What do you mean why? Mosai tichla da. Everybody's wondering, when is this sauce going to be over? I need to get another. I have to refill now. Beisa, why is it called a house? Boy ve'esiv ba. Come and I'll sit in it. Biksa, a small house. Ki aksa. So, a narrow small house. Kufta, it's like the bowl of a mortar, I guess. Kuf v'siv. Flip it over and sit. Livni, why is a brick called livni? Livnei bane. A brick lasts for generations. Children's children. Hutza, the famous hutza va'agma, like a fence made out of reed, like a flimsy fence. Why hutza? Chatzitza. Because in Aramaic, in L'shkoidesh, the hey and the ches, interchangeable. Hutza, chutza, chatzitza. Chazba, why is it called a barrel? Shechoitzev mayim ahar. You draw water from a river. Kuza, a jug. Kazeh. People say like that. Give me that amount. Shutisa, hadassim. The Gemara always talks about hadassim. It's called shutisa. Why? Shtusa. Rashi explains, because people dance on Yontav with the hadassim, they look like shaitan. They look like they're crazy. You look from the side, you see a guy, he looks nuts. Meshichla, this is like a washing basin. Mashi koila. Everybody washes from it. Meshechilta, which is a nicer, fancy washing cup. Mashi kalsa. That's what a kala, a bride, washes her hand with. Asisa is a hand mortar. It's because it's chasirta. It's missing. Buchna, which is the pestle, the thing that goes in. I forgot to pull out my picture. We'll use it in Shas all the time. You have the little bowl, and you have that thing that crushes stuff. You could have used it yesterday also. Boivakena. Come and I'll pound on it. Levusha, why is it called a beged? It's called a levush. Loi busha. Once I wear it, I'm not going to have embarrassment. Glima, why is a coat called a glima? Shenasibuk goylem. You don't see the shape of the body, just like blah. You just put it on and you don't see what's behind it. You can hide all your fat behind the coat. Gulsa is like some sort of cape. Gali veitiv. If you're Hasidish, you know what I'm talking about. Or if you ever saw Hasidim, they have these long coats, and when they want to sit down in shul, what do? They grab the bottom and they do one of these. They flip the bottom up. Eli Dykman is laughing. He knows exactly what I'm talking about. So they don't want to press it. They don't want to crease the bottom. So they have a beautiful move. They know how to pull it up, and that's exactly what the Gemara says here. Gali, let me flip it up. Where's my cape? And I could sit down. So now I just chapped. It's not pshat that Hasidim don't want it to decrease. They're trying to be Mekayim this Gemara. It says Mufurish in the Gemara. Galei ve'esiv. Okay, new pshat. Puria, why is the bed called Puria? Sheparim v'ravim aleh. Puravu on it. Bar Zinka, why is a dried out pit called Bar Zinka? Bar Zenaki, this pit is clean. Sudara, this is the head wrap. Soid Hashem lireyav, you wear like a nice hat. Soid Hashem lireyav. A shtreimel we talk is mamish Soid Hashem lireyav. Why do people wear shtreimels? It's the tail of chveis, a very expensive animal, and it costs thousands of dollars. Soid Hashem lireyav. Only HaKadosh Baruch Hu knows the secret. A padno, a place, a pischodein. Through this, I'm not making fun of you, Eli. Eli, you wear shtreimel? Avada. Yisrael Goldstein was a shtreimel. Was Yisrael Goldstein? Gets it. The oilam from Borough Park for sure. I don't think Eli wears a shtreimel. Doesn't look like the shtreimel kind. Maybe on Shabbos. Who knows? A pischodein taner rabbanon. You guys see the picture of Chaim Kanievsky with the shtreimel? Because something about because the Steipler used to wear shtreimel, that's for sure. And I saw Chaim Kanievsky with the shtreimel only on Yontiv once a year, whatever. They bring out the shtreimel because his father was from Horna Steipler. So the kitzer. Torah Abanon. Shloisha calls man shemaskinim ma'asifim gvura. There are 3 animals in this world that, as they get older, they become stronger and stronger. Think about it. A fish. Every year it gets bigger and bigger and bigger, where human beings get smaller and smaller. They peak out at 20, whatever it is, the age, and then from there they just shrink and shrink. The brain shrinks, everything else shrinks. Fish are different. Fish keep on growing and growing and growing. If you catch a big fish, you know he's alive for a very long time. V'nachash and a snake, I guess the same thing. V'chazir, I guess, the PIG, us in Borough Park, we didn't say the word pig, we're going to call it PIG. V'chazir, the duva ache, whatever. Okay, shemen kedei losuch ever cotton. It says in the Mishnah, how much oil are you over on itzah kedei losuch ever cotton? Oh, I see a yoili. Yoili, shtreimel? No shtreimel, right? No. Shemen kedei losuch ever cotton, enough to anoint one small aver, one limb. Amid bei Rabbi Yanai, shemen kedei losuch ever cotton, shel cotton ben yoimai. Enough for the tiny baby's small aver, meaning Rashi says one part of one finger. Meisvei shem kedei losuch aver katan v'katan ben yoimai. Over here it says and the baby. My love, aver katan de gadol, maybe a small limb of an older person. V'aver gadol shekatan, maybe the leg of a small baby. Ami love the bei Rabbi Yanai loy hachiko amar shem kedei losuch aver katan shel katan ben yoimai. No, it goes together. Take out the vav. All right, you know what? We'll stop over here. Motzei Shabbos Be'ezra Hashem 9:20. I don't know yet what the zmanim for Shavuos. We have to think about Shavuos. I only do one day at a time. I could barely think about Sunday. Motzei Shabbos 9:20. Sunday you'll get a message if you're invited or not. Obviously, if you're not in the main table, you're not a snob. You're not invited. No, I'm just kidding. We're going to invite people from the other tables. Maybe we'll invite even Naftali Ritual because he belongs in the main table and he's been with us the whole Zoom. But just to chap him around, maybe he'll fall for the trick. He'll come for a day or two. No, I'm thinking about it. It's a good. I don't know if he registered. You have to register. Naftali, register and be there on the opening day. Be'ezah Hashem, can't wait. Everybody have an amazing, amazing Shabbos. Go ahead, no. Shem alois mi mamakim krosicha Adonai shmo b'koili Adonai zdar keshuvois nishkol ta'aleno V'avelo yizishmo yo Adonai mi amo Tuchas tichon iman tivorei Iz Adonai givson nafshi b'dvorei cholti Nafshi l'Adonai im shmum l'boiker Amen.
Ellie, what a beautiful shir. I love you so much. I didn't interrupt the shir. It was beautiful to be, before MDY opens, to be in the live shir by your door. The thermometer's there. Your Shabbos food is there. And I got some stuff. If you want to show Motzi Shabbos for the MDY, I got some masks and some alcohol.
I didn't tell you, but it's not important for everybody. I made a massive order. I bought 300 masks and a case of soap, and a couple cases of gloves, and a big giant plastic screen. I hope the guy delivers like he promised. But yeah, but thank you for what you're doing for the shir. Amazing. The guy doesn't stop for a second.
Thank you so much, Eli, for giving such a wonderful shir. And the story that you said today about you when you were a caterer, you didn't mention you were working for your father-in-law, Zaidi.
I wasn't working for. It was my own business. But Yishkoyach, thanks, appreciate it. Yeah, Leon.
Rav Albert named his father. His house burned down last night in South Africa, in Johannesburg. One of the main rabbonim here in South Africa. So
What happened?
a gas canister on his heater in his house. You know, it's winter here.
Yeah.
It started leaking and it started a major fire. And they basically escaped with the clothes on their back out of their house.
Oh, but he's alive and well.
Yeah, they're alive and well. But
This is Mendy. You're talking about Mendy's father?
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah, I'm listening. I know, of course, Or Sameach. He's amazing.
Yeah.
Of course. Wow, so this happened last night.
Yeah, so it's just to add to the sorrows. You know, we're still in lockdown. We've had one of those most severe lockdowns here globally. So we're still in lockdown, and this is just added to the oilam should be mispalo for us.
Wow. The Auerbach family. Wow.
Great share, Eli, as usual. Have a very good Shabbos.
Yishkoyach Reb Yaakov.
Shabbat shalom, everybody.
Where are you going? Whoa, Avi, where are you going? What do you think this is?
I'm going to go take my fifth daughter to Gan. My wife told me that I'm doing it today.
All right, so Avi, so this week is over. What are we having on your background next week? I think just the kotel would do fine.
It will not be the kotel, but I promise you will approve.
Okay. Good. What? What's the question?
Shabbos. I usually wrote a couple of times, one time over Shabbos.
It's a good question. We'll probably have. I think what we're going to do is, because we're missing a day, I would like to do a shir on Shavuos, like not to miss a day, chas v'shalom, of learning. But Matzei Shavuos, I'm thinking about doing a double shir, like 2 shiurim. I'll do that day's daf first, and then just to have it recorded on YouTube, and whoever missed the first shir, I'll do a second shir. I think that's what I want to do. I have to think if it works out or not, if it works for the olam, if anybody's interested. All I need is 1 or 2 people to watch, because I don't want to have a gap in the shiurim on YouTube or anywhere else. And if we have a 2-day yontif, or it's a 1 day but a 2-day that we can't record, then I think it's kedai just to, after the shir is over, we'll pause, stop. Whoever wants to leave can leave, and then we'll just go backwards 1 daf, and we'll do it in reverse, because whoever came to the shir on Shavuos is going to have that daf. You know what I mean?
No, but let me ask you something crazy. Could you do the share 2 times? So you can do it 2 times. If you're only letting 50 people at a time, right? On Shavuos night, you'll easily fill up 100 people.
No. We're not doing 50 people at a time. We're doing 15 people at a time. We measured. Me and Noam sat there for a 1-5. We can't even do 20. We want to stick. We want to be sticklers. We want to stick to the rules. And we measured and measuring tapes, and we just cannot get. We can't. Nobody's going to be sitting on the main table. There's no snobs anymore. Everybody's on the side tables, and it's every other table. 12, 13 with me. It's very, very tight. So forget about.
You said 50. I thought you were doing 5-0.
No, 1-5. 1-5.
Oh, so it's
2 meters apart sounds like it's not so much, but when you sit down and you measure it, we saw this how crazy it is.
Yeah, Yosef was there. We were measuring. We're trying to do it. We're trying to be, and things might change.
Can you adapt and have elder Shavuos and adapt and have after Shavuos? 1.5.
No, we do Yomi. Every day we do. We got to do a daf a day. We don't mess around. Oh, do it outside? You're saying Yakiva's saying to do it outside, outdoors.
At night,
in a big parking lot, and then everybody could come.
Go to the park, dude.
Big parking lot. Listen, so we have to think. By the way, we try to take our son driving in a big parking lot, but I don't know. This is Israel. You don't have like a Target parking lot. The big parking lot is four spots.
You're in the parking lot right next to MDY. There's a humongous parking lot right next door.
Schwach.
It's big enough for the whole year.
Okay, look.
All right, El. Thanks for the chizuk. But you know what? Now it's Friday and Shabbos. We're gonna start falling behind again, and then comes Shavuos, and then poof. Those 2 days I can't record any 8-minute, and then I fall behind. Kachazeh, manaseh. All right, I'm turning off YouTube.
Ellie, have a good Shabbos.
Thank you.
Thank you. Oh.